Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. This is the first video that I'm putting onto YouTube, so hopefully this will work a little bit better than what we've been doing. And I know many of you are very worried about my flag football teams. You need not worry. We got a win today, so life is good. We're all good. We got our Vic today, and so we're ready for the playoffs starting next week. Okay, so we're going to be doing 5.1, which is writing equations given 2 points. Using function notation, or if we are given a graph. The first part is going to be when we're given 2 points. So what you'll see in these notes is kind of the reverse of what we were doing the last week or so. We're going backwards. So now we're trying to write the equation of a line. So whenever we have to write an equation of a line, the first thing we should do is always write down, hopefully you already know, y equals mx plus b. Okay, every time you see equation of a line, you should write down this formula right here. It's super important that we have that formula, y equals mx plus b, written on our paper. Alright, next, what we're going to do is if we're given 2 points, one of the first things we have to find is the slope. And so we should have a couple different ways we're going to find slope. One of the ways is by using m equals, let me write a little bit better, m there. M equals change of y over change of x, or delta y over delta x, or you could use m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I don't care which way you use as long as you do one of them. For this one, I'm going to do change of y over change of x. So in order to do that, I'm going to set up a little t-chart here. And so I'm going to have 6, negative 5, and those are my x's and those are my y's. And then I'm going to have 8, 3. And the first thing I'm looking at is how is this changing? Well, from 6 to 8, that is plus 2. So I'm going to write a 2 there. And then this one over here is going from negative 5 to 3. That is plus 8. So then my change of y over change of x is equal to change of y is 8. And my change of x is 2. Which is equal to the slope of 4 over 1. So this right here is my slope right here. 4 over 1 will be my slope. Okay, so now I can use that y equals mx plus b. So I already know in that equation that my m is going to be, so I'm going to rewrite it here, y equals mx plus b. And I already know that my m is going to be equal to 4 over 1. And I know that what I'm trying to find is my plus b. So that means I must already know then what x is equal to and what y is equal to. I can't solve this equation unless I know what x is and y is. And the way I get x and y is I come back here and I pick either one of these points. So I can pick either one of those 2 points, plug them in for x and y, because this is x and that's y. Or this is x and that's y. Either point will work and it should give me the b. So I'm just going to pick this one for no particular reason, but I'm going to pick 6, 5. And so I'm going to put in, negative 5. Negative 5 for my y, and my x is 6, and of course I always use parentheses. And so then I'm going to multiply these two together, so I get negative 5 is equal to 24 plus b. And then my next step is to subtract 24 from both sides. And I get negative 29 is equal to b. Therefore, the equation of the line is y equals 4x minus 29. And this is the answer right here. So that is the problem written in y equals mx, the equation of a line when I'm given 2 points. Okay, next we'll be looking at function notation. And in function notation, we're given similar stuff, it's just written in a little bit different form. If we understand what function notation is, then its form shouldn't be too difficult. We again are trying to find the equation of a line, so that means the very first thing I should write down is y equals mx plus b, just like that. And so I need to find the slope and the y-intercept. And so again, I'm going to do a t-chart. So I'm going to, for my slope, I'm using m equals delta y over delta x. You can use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 if you want. So for my t-chart, I have x and y, and I have this notation right here is telling me that number is what my x is, this number is my y. Therefore, in my t-chart, I can write negative 4, 2, and then for this one, that's my x and that's my y. It does not mean f times x, it means the function of x. So negative 1, 4. And then I am going to find the change of y and the change of x. So the change of x here gives me positive 3, and the change of y over here gives me 2. So then my slope is equal to 2 over 3. Okay, now I can plug this into my equation. And when I plug this into my equation, I get y equals, and my slope is 2/3 x plus b. Now in order to solve this, I need to know what this is and this is. And again, I can get those from here and here, or here and here. It doesn't matter which one I use. So I'm just going to pick this one this time. I picked the first one the last time. I'll pick this one. So then I have to plug in my y is equal to 4 equals 2/3 times negative 1 plus b. So then I multiply this out and I get 4 equals negative 2/3 plus b. Then I add 2/3 to both sides, add 2/3 to both sides, and I get 4 and 2/3 is equal to b, which means the equation of my line is y equals 2/3 x plus 4 and 2/3. It's perfectly okay to have a fraction anywhere in your equations. Perfectly alright, not a problem there. Okay, and the last one we're going to do is when we are reading it from a graph. So when we read it from a graph, again, we're still trying to find the equation of a line. So I'm still going to be using y equals mx plus b. And so I'm going to do the red line first. And so to do the red line first, what I have to find is the slope and the y-intercept. And the easiest way to do this is for me to draw slope triangles. So I'm going to start on my red line, and when I come to a lattice point, I'm going to stop and put a mark there, and I have one right there. Then I'm going to keep on going, and I see that I have another one right there. I'm going to keep on going, see I have another one right there. Keep on going, I have another one right there. So I can go to any one of these points. It doesn't matter which point I go to. I'm just going to make sure that I do my slope triangle correctly. So if I'm going to start at the leftmost point, then that means this would be my starting position. So I put a star next to the start, and then I'm just going to pick one. I think I'll pick this one just because. Why not? So slope is either rise over run or fall over run. And since I'm starting at this point here, and I'm going all the way down to this point over here, since I have to go from this high point to this low point, this one must be a fall over run. So I'm going to do a fall over run. So I start here at my starting point, and I'm going to fall first. So I'm falling down like this, and I drew an arrow, and I fell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The way that I show that I went down 6 or I fell 6 is my negative sign. So I went negative 6, and then I'm always going to run to the right. And I'm running to the right because, as we know, left sucks. We don't want to go left. We only want to go right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a positive 4. So then my slope is equal to negative 6 over 4, which can be simplified down to negative 2. Excuse me, not 2. Negative 3. Oops. Negative 3 halves. Okay, so that's my slope. the next thing I have to find is my y-intercept. So to find my y-intercept, I'm looking where the point crosses my y-axis. And the point where it crosses my y-axis is right there. That's where my line crosses my y-axis. And that point is 1, 2. So my b is equal to 2. Therefore, the equation of the red line is y equals negative 3/2 x plus 2. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the same thing for the green one, the green line. So I start with y equals mx plus b. I need to start at my leftmost point. So I will start here, let's say. Let me see, what color should I do this one in? I'll do this in this. I need another color here, so I'm going to use yellow. So I start right here. There's one point, and I can go to, say, that one. So from this point, this is going to slope is equal to rise over run or fall over run. And this one is going to be a rise over run. So I'm going to rise 1 and run 2. So rise 1 right here, and I ran 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives me a slope of 1/4. And it's positive because I'm rising. So then I need to find my y-intercept, and my y-intercept is the point where it crosses the y-axis. So that's going to be a y-intercept. So my b is equal to 0. So that means the equation of my line is going to be y equals 1/4 x plus 0. Okay, and what we should be noticing in this point is that the green line is a direct variation because it's going through the origin and the y-intercept is equal to 0. And the red line is not direct variation because it's not going through the origin and the y-intercept is some number other than 0. So that again refers back to Friday's lesson talking about direct or indirect variation. Okay, these are the notes today. Please give me feedback on how it worked with YouTube and these new notes style. This is a new program for me. If it needs to be tweaked somehow, let me know and I will tweak it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.